Welcome back. I'm again in downtown Tampa, where I've got Ybor City tour booked for 12 o'clock. So I'm just having a little wander around the centre and just come across the building over the road there, which is the City Hall, which was completed in 1915. And I'm on Kennedy Boulevard, and I just came across a sign. Apparently John F. Kennedy visited Tampa 4 days before he was shot in Dallas. So obviously the boulevard is named in his honour. So there's a notification of his visit. And over the other side of the road, we've got the Tampa Police Department. And outside there is a memorial for all the officers who lost their lives in the course of duty. There's a plaque there in honour of the 50th anniversary of Tampa Police Department's first female officer on patrol, dedicated on the 28th of March 2023. And this is the memorial I was on about. Officers that have been killed in the line of duty. Someone outside. And also names on that side. Okay. So I've got to go to the Hotel Floridan to pick up the city tour bus. So I'll join you there. Bye for now. Right, so I've found the Hotel Floridan. It's the building there in front. And apparently it was built in 1927, and when it opened it was Tampa's finest hotel. It's built in a Art Deco style. And over the road, got an interesting building, SH Crescent Co. Was constructed in 1929, and it was one of the last buildings to be constructed before the Great business buildings to be constructed before the Great Depression, and it's now listed as an historic building. It's very ornate shields there at the top. So let's go to the hotel and wait for the bus. So join me when I'm on the bus and I'm having a tour of Tampa. Bye bye for now. So I'm on the bus and I've got my own private tour, and 2 people were meant to turn up as well, but they cancelled this morning, so I most probably won't talk too much now, but just film out the window.
Also, Dave, I give you an idea of what's going on with all of the pirate and buccaneer decorations.
Okay.
So we have something here in Tampa called the Jose Gasparilla, or many people refer to it as the pirate season, where we have these 3 parades back to back to back. And the main parade, which is the Jose Gasparilla parade, is kind of themed after a pirate who terrorized the Gulf Coast, right? He was here in Tampa. Now, these parades take place, that main one, the last Saturday in January. But there's 3 of them, 3 weekends in a row. So I've decorated the bus accordingly, right? People love the decoration so much, I just left them aboard. Right. Now, if you like bagels, there's a new bagel store right here to the left, just across the stop sign. It's called the Bagel Nook. Really nice spot. Now, normally there's a line stretching around the corner. As you look in, you can see it's packed right now. But that's going to be really popular now. Also, if we take a look to the right, this building is the Stride Center. This is basically our version of Broadway. This facility hosts grand operas, concerts, musicals, and plays. My favorite should be coming back really soon, The Lion King. Also, we're going to see a banner coming up for Wicked. Wicked will be here early next year. You can see it right there as we're turning.
Yep.
Now, it's one of the largest performing arts facilities in the U.S. right now. They're actually adding on even more theaters just beyond its fencing right here. Also, let's take a look at one of my favorite structures. If we look to the right, there's the Cass Street Railroad Bridge, the bridge that's in the air. I've nicknamed it the Always Up Bridge. Within the last 2 years, I've only seen it down twice. So it works, it's operable. But very, very seldomly does the railroad come through there. It's also one of the oldest structures in all of Tampa. It was built in the late 1800s. And throughout this tour, Dave, I'm going to be letting you know what part of town we're in. Currently, we're in the River Arts District of downtown Tampa. And I know you're probably seeing that very, very interesting building in the distance right over there. We're going to talk about it. Going to get a great vantage point of that building in question. But first I want to mention the river that we're seeing. This is the Hillsborough River. This is going to be the main river that runs through Tampa. And also, by the way, you see the vessel right there? That's the Pirate Water Taxi. If you have not gotten a chance to experience that, you absolutely want to do it.
I got it booked. So I booked it for when?
You booked it? Okay,
booked it for
absolutely.
Tuesday, yeah.
So it's a hop on, hop off type of deal. You can travel the entire day throughout the ports and channels of Tampa.
Okay.
Now, just beyond the Hillsborough River, that building over there is the Henry B. Plant Museum. It's now part of the University of Tampa. Now, in its heyday, it was known as the Tampa Bay Hotel. So the guy Henry B. Plant, who was named after, he wanted to create a luxury hotel that was a winter getaway for rich people. That's what it was. That was the essence of it. Some of the guests that stayed there included Teddy Roosevelt, Babe Ruth, the Queen of England, and even Booker T. Washington stayed there when it was the Tampa Bay Hotel. Also, you probably looked at it and probably thought it was a mosque or some type of religious building, right? Everyone does. Well, it's not. He just simply wanted to design something that was eye-catching. So that's the whole point behind the architectural style of that building. Also, they run a really great tour inside where some of the rooms have the original decor from when it was built in the late 1800s. Absolutely amazing building. Okay, now also keep the image in your memories. It's going to appear on the art piece that I was telling you about.
Right, okay.
Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. To the right of us, there's an 18,000-pound head, one of my favorite sculptures in all of Tampa. She actually has a name. Her name is Laura with bun. You can see the bun in the back. She's one of those 3D type of figures, right? There's a few more around the world as well. But she's one of the outdoor exhibits for this building, which is the Tampa Museum of Art. Now, we're actually going to pull right in between the Tampa Museum of Art and the Children's Museum. We're going to talk about them in more detail. But first, Dave, there's a hidden message right under this parking structure. Many people drive through here and they miss it. It's going to be on the left wall over here. It runs the entire length of the wall. It starts right about now, and it runs all the way down. Let's see if you can make it out. And no worries, I'm going to pull away from the wall a little bit so you will get an even better vantage point. Any guesses yet?
Nope.
Not yet, no worries.
I can see the end of it, but the R-O-U-S, but
Yep.
I can't make out some of C-U-R...
That's the second word. Yep.
Curious.
Curious, that's the second word.
Stay curious?
Stay curious, that's it, absolutely.
Right,
yep.
okay.
Just a really nice message for this part of town, right?
Yeah.
This is going to be the facilities where the children gather right up in this area.
Okay.
We had the Tampa Museum of Art just behind us, and this building right here, the white, orange, and yellow building. This is the Glazer's Children's Museum. So now between these two buildings, there are over 200 exhibits. Are you familiar with the Glazer family in which this building is named after?
They own Man United, don't they?
They own Man United, and they also own the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, okay.
But they do own Man United. Absolutely hated in the soccer world. So I'll tell you a story about this building. It's a really great building. I brought my twin daughters here last summer. I thought I was going to be in here for about 2 hours. That's about average. I was in this building for 5 hours. Here's what I remember most. The way in which they clear out the building at the end of the day is genius. They have a parade. Starts up top on the 5th floor. They give all the parents, the children's flags, ribbons, little instruments, right? And so it's like a musical parade. It pancakes down floor by floor, collecting people. In about 5 to 10 minutes time, the entire building is cleared out really quickly. That's when the children realize they've been tricked by this parade to get out really fast. I'm telling you, it's a thing of beauty. The realization comes over all of their faces at the same exact time. Now we're going to see our most iconic building here in Tampa. In 3, 2, 1, take a look to the right. That round cylinder-shaped building. Everyone who comes here asks, what is that? Well, it reads South State at the top. That's just the bank doing some marketing. The official name of it is the Rivergate Tower, but that's not what we call it. We call that building the beer can.
Right, yeah.
If you hear anyone discussing it while in town, the beer can, that's the building that they're referring to. And it's a regular office building, nothing special about it outside of the shape of it. Also, the park right here in front of it is Curtis Hickson Park, named after the late mayor, Curtis Hickson Jr. This is where the largest events in Tampa takes place right here. Also, a guy who you may have heard of, Jimi Hendrix, performed here twice in 1968. Okay. Check out the marker right here, Dave, on the sidewalk. It's green with gold lettering. It reads Jimi Hendrix.
Yes, yeah, see it.
Yep. Also, right over here to the left, you'll see a construction site of a newer condo building. This building is called One Tampa. When it's completed, it's going to be Tampa's 3rd overall tallest building and tallest residential building. Now, here's a phrase that I want you to remember because we're going to hear it throughout the tour. This building will be completed, here's the phrase, in about 2 years.
Right.
Keep that in mind. We're going to hear that phrase a bunch on this tour.
Okay.
In about 2 years. Now, there's going to be more buildings in this particular area of downtown that I'm going to be pointing out to you. You're not going to be able to see the entire building, but don't worry. There's going to be a place on this tour where I'm going to show you the entire picture of what I'm talking about. You're going to be able to see every building. just beyond the light. We can't really see it right now, but it's right there, right across the light. There's going to be another really important building. So white marble building with some greenish tinted windows. That's the Bank of America building. It's currently Tampa's second tallest building. So there's a really unique fact that I've discovered between the second tallest and the tallest. I'm going to tell you shortly.
Okay.
I'm going to get a quick glimpse of the base of the beer can. You can see it right about now. Also, you're going to see this phrase a lot throughout your visit here. Look to the right. Go Boats. The blue and white banner right here. Yep. Well, there's a surface meaning and also a deeper meaning that I'm going to share with you later on tour. Here's the Bank of America building right here to the left. Currently, the second tallest building. Or many people call it the Regents building. This is currently Tampa's tallest building. Now, as I'm driving toward downtown, I couldn't really make out which building was the tallest, right? I'm from Chicago originally. And so when I first get here, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm going towards the skyline and I can't tell which building was the tallest. So that prompted me to do some research. The second tallest building is 577 feet. The tallest building, which is right there, is 579.
Okay.
So they're separated by 2 feet. No wonder I couldn't tell which one was the tallest, right? Now, they're not the tallest buildings in the U.S. by a long shot, but we do hold the record of the closest race between 1 and 2 of any buildings in any city in the U.S. And don't worry, we're going to see this entire shot of every building that I've spoke about. But first, here's going to be another construction site just ahead of us to the right. It's called the Pendry. It's a 38-story tower. Guess when it'll be completed? In about 2 years. Here comes the whole picture, Dave. Get ready. There's Channel 8 News on the West Bank. There's the beer can. There's the Bank of America building with the greenish tinted windows. There's a building with the green home structure at the top. That's the tallest building. If we look down below, we can see the Riverwalk. So we have a 2.5 mile long Riverwalk. If you have not gotten a chance to experience that, that's something that you want to do as well. Also, speaking of the Riverwalk, there's going to be some really, really great news that I'm going to share with you regarding the Riverwalk later on tour. Now, really quickly, I want to point out there's a public supermarket right here to the right of us. There's nothing special about this one, but give it about 10 minutes or so, I'm going to show you the most special public supermarket here in Tampa. They have a really, really unique feature. Not a physical feature, but a sales feature that I'm going to talk about. But for now, we're getting ready to venture into what many people have voted as the most beautiful area in Tampa. This is Bayshore Boulevard, and we get ready to head into. And what we're going to do, there's going to be some really historic homes that's going to be on the right side of the streets. We're going to drive down for about 2.5 miles. We're going to make a U-turn and come back on the opposite side. So you're going to get a chance to see everything on both sides of this street.
Okay.
So there's a story that I want to share with you, David, before we get into these historical homes that's coming up. Well, the last hurricane that came through, it was called Hurricane Milton, and something very, very unusual happened. There's a body of water right over here to the left. This is the Hillsborough Bay. Well, Hurricane Milton actually pulled all of the water out of that bay. So you can see the entire muddy bottom of this bay. But that's where the story begins. So we have this guy around Tampa. We call him the real Lieutenant Dan. Are you familiar with Lieutenant Dan from Forrest Gump?
No.
Well, it's a movie, really popular movie from back in the 90s, I believe. And there was a guy, it was a pirate who lived on a boat. He was missing both of his legs, right? But we have a guy here that's missing one leg, but he was all over social media and even CNN. He refused to leave his boat during the hurricane. So he stayed aboard his vessel. He survived. But now they've locked him up. They gave him a trespassing charge. Hopefully they let him out soon. He's like a celebrity around town. The real Lieutenant Dan of Tampa. And these are some really amazing homes. These are some of the more expensive homes up through here. I'm going to start pointing out some particular ones to you. The first one is going to be right here on the corner to the right. Right here, 901 Bayshore Boulevard. It was built in 1912. That's the oldest home on Bayshore. In that entire span, it's only had 4 owners. The next one is going to be the home of the first football coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, John McKay, right here on the corner, 1001 Bayshore Boulevard. Now, John McKay has since passed on, but the home is still owned by the McKay family. The next one is going to be one of the more modern homes. 1111 Bayshore Boulevard. It has 2 rooftop lounges and a wine room right here to the right. I've also been wondering why it's been getting a bunch of TV press. Well, they're going to add a 4th floor to it soon. Now, this neighborhood is the Hyde Park neighborhood. And now, being from Chicago, there's a really popular neighborhood by the name of Hyde Park. Here's what I discovered. The same designer of Hyde Park, Chicago, well, he also designed Hyde Park, Tampa as well. And the homes in this neighborhood are going to run anywhere from $800,000 all the way to $10 million. These are some of the more expensive homes right here on the face of Bayshore Boulevard. Also, just beyond this red light, I'm going to show you the largest mansion on Bayshore Boulevard. Make a left turn, but I want you to keep looking to the right. There's going to be a peach colored mansion as we're turning right here, 1801 Bayshore Boulevard. That's the largest mansion on Bayshore Boulevard. The owner of that place is a guy by the name of Harry Barquette. And you might ask, well, who is that, right? Harry Barquette, he's the owner of Amalie Oil Company. So that arena where our professional hockey team used to play, well, they still play there, but the name of it used to be the Amalie Arena. This guy used to own the naming rights. He sold it about 5 months ago. That arena is now called the Benchmark International Arena. Also, this is going to be a very interesting sidewalk right here. You see many people working out over here. This is the Bayshore Fitness Trail. This is going to be the longest uninterrupted sidewalk in the world. It's 4.5 miles long. It goes from one end all the way to the other end. Now, it actually extends behind us for 2.5 miles. It wraps all the way around. You can see the buildings in the distance behind us. This is the same exact street. Now, there's a little bit of controversy, right? There's a sidewalk in Dallas that's actually longer, but there's an area where cars are able to pass over, so we don't count that one in Dallas.
Right.
We count this one as the longest uninterrupted pedestrian sidewalk in the world. You're also going to see 10 calisthenic fitness stations as well as we make our way down. They're going to be green in color. The first one is actually right here, just to the right of us. And then you have families come here to hang out. Photographers come over here as well. Of course, a lot of fitness buffs. Also, if you have really paid attention, if we look to the right, just beyond the Hillsborough Bay, there's another neighborhood with some really nice Mediterranean style homes over there. Well, that's actually an island that you're looking at. That is Davis Island. We have two man-made islands here. We have Davis Island, which you're looking at, and there's another one called Harbor Island. Now, I've given this island a nickname. I've nicknamed it Athletes Island. That's where most of our professional athletes live, right over there. Now, have you heard of a guy named Tom Brady? Famous football player?
No.
American, well, he's an American football player. He played most of his career for the New England Patriots. Now he played a few years for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Actually won a Super Bowl here with us. But he was living right over there as well on this island. But now it wasn't his mansion. It belonged to Derek Jeter, a famous baseball player. Also, our new quarterback of our current football team is Baker Mayfield. He has two mansions over there. And there's a really popular NHL or hockey player named Steven Stamkos. He used to play for us. He no longer plays for the Tampa Bay Lightning, but he still has his mansion over there as well. Here's the cool thing about Davis Island. Many people think that it's a gated community. Well, it's not. This bridge right here where the car is taking over, it leads right over to Davis Island. And right in the distance, over across the Hillsborough Bay, right to the right, we'll see Tampa General Hospital. That's going to be our #1 rated hospital here in Tampa. The two main features are the helipads up top. And actually, this hospital is still a part of Davis Island, actually. Now, the Jose Gasparilla pirate ship, which is the centerpiece of the really popular parade, it is normally docked right here. You see this parking lot right here?
Yep.
Well, right at the end of the parking lot is normally where we would normally see the most popular pirate ship here in Tampa. But they're removing decorations off of it from a parade that it was part of recently. And the bridge that we're getting ready to cross over, this is going to be the Platte Street Bridge. Kind of keep the image of it in your memories. It's going to be on that art piece that I was telling you about as well. It separates the Garrison Channel over here on the right side, and it turns into the Hillsborough River on the left side of it. But you're going to get some really great views of Tampa from right here as well. Alright, Dave, now we're getting ready to be eaten alive right now. We're headed into the belly of the convention center right now. Also, things are going to start to move really fast in this part of town. So I'm going to be telling you, look left, look right, look left, right? I just want to prep you.
Okay, thank you.
You know what? I'll go ahead and talk about our streetcar right now. Have you got a chance to be aboard the streetcar yet?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Really nice experience, right?
Yep. Yep, I took it to the Ybor City on Friday. Yeah.
So we're gonna stop in Ybor on our second stop of tour.
Okay.
Absolutely. Ybor is an interesting place.
Yeah, I can imagine seeing some of the characters there on Friday.
Oh yeah. And this building right here to the right of us is the convention center. 4 floors of over 100 exhibit spaces. My favorite event that comes here is Comic-Con. Also, we're gonna see the coolest riverfront bar in Tampa. Just ahead of us to the right, it's got the blue roof and the sail atop. Well, that's because it's called the Sail. Also, let me show you the place where you're gonna get the best grouper sandwich from. It's a really nice fish sandwich right here to the right. You see the skeleton on the wall?
Yes.
That building is Big Ray's Fish Camp. They have some amazing grouper sandwiches. And the bridge that you're seeing leads over to Harbor Island, the smaller of those 2 man-made islands. Now we've just turned on to Water Street. This is going to be the latest development of downtown Tampa. You got the Water Street Marriott on the right. It's connected by an overhead bridge that we're driving under right now to the JW Marriott on the left. So both of these are Marriott properties. Now coming up on the left side, Dave, is going to be that arena. Formerly the Amalie Arena is now the Benchmark International Arena. This is home of the Tampa Bay Lightning, our professional hockey team. Here it comes. Now, of course, there's professional hockey there, but you have many events that happen right there. MMA, boxing, concerts, comedy shows, everything you could think of. And now we're entering the heart of Water Street. Here's our streetcar on the left side as well. Really quickly, turn to the right. Here's the Tampa Bay History Center. And we're going to see another really interesting building. And that's to the right of us as well, the Heron Building. This building was the first residential building of Water Street, this entire development. So this development is a newer cluster of hotels and residential buildings. This was the first residential building. It's really unique in its architectural style. Every apartment has a balcony inside this building. Now, you can't see it that great right now, but when we get on the other side of the building, you will be able to see that architectural style. Also, Dave, if you want the best shot of the tallest building in Tampa, take a look to the left in the distance. Just beyond the palm trees is going to be the tallest building with the green home structure. Of course, it's the tallest by 2 feet. Okay, on the right side is a restaurant called The Pearl. This is a really popular oyster room. It's got a 2025 Michelin star. Now let me show you that public supermarket that I was telling you about earlier. This is it to the right here. Now at first sight, it looks like any other Publix, right? Except for, it's a little different. You could drink wine inside. There's the wine store right through there. So many people come here just to get bubbly. You can actually drink and shop. Of course, you're going to spend more money that way as well. You can see the front. It's just an architectural beauty, this building right here. Also, we're entering into the Channel Side district of downtown Tampa. And by the way, we have 6 cruise terminals here.
Right.
Yep. Yesterday, this entire cruise port was full of cruise ships getting ready to go out. I don't see any right now. We may see some around the corner as we advance. But we're actually going to stop right over here. This is going to be the first stop on tour. Here comes the Tampa letters. Here they come. This is, many people come here to take pictures. Look to the right, right about now. There's the Tampa letters right there. This area that we're pulling in for the first stop is called Sparkman Wharf. It's going to be right over here to the left, but no worries. I'm going to show you some things on the right side first. Let me show you the entire architectural style of the building, the Heron building. Take a look at it now. Now you can see it, how every apartment has a balcony. Just some really great architecture in that building. This area right over here, you will be able to get the Pirate Water Taxi. We also have two really great dinner cruises, the Starship and also one of them called the Craft. And right now they're out on a dinner cruise right now. They're normally right there. So the first stop on tour is going to be Sparkman Wharf. One of the main features is going to be this outdoor lawn area. There's going to be a stage wrapped in a brown steel beams right here. But if you look on the wall, there's a giant LED screen. That LED screen hosts fitness classes. It shows Tampa Bay Buccaneer games and Tampa Bay Lightning games. Also, here's a really, really popular art piece. The peace and love symbol. We're going to see many really nice sculptures and art pieces throughout this tour as well. They're all over Tampa. But the main feature, undoubtedly, of Sparkman Wharf are going to be these container-style restaurants right here. I'm going to pull up right here, and I'm going to show you how to maneuver about through this place if you haven't been here. If you want a picture, I can get a picture of you right there by the giant yellow and blue chair, the Sparkman Wharf chair as well. That's something you want. And then I'm going to come back to the bus and wait on you. It is now 12:37. Let's try to get back at about between 12:50 and 12:52. So, also, here's another one of my favorite sculptures right here in the centerpiece. We call it the Exploding Chicken. A news anchor called it as such, and the name stuck around. Now, the funny thing is, it used to be situated right in front of the beer can. They moved it right here in 2013. Now, yesterday, all these cruise terminals were full of cruise ships. This is cruise terminal number 3, but there's none out here today, of course. For a good portion of the 1900s, this was all barren lands. This was nothing. Until the Port Authority of Tampa, they purchased this waterfront land in around 1980. And once they purchased that land, you get the shipyards spring up, the cruise ship terminals. We're going to see the shipyard in just a second. Here's the shipyard just ahead of us to the right. And actually, Dave, they're going to start to develop. They've just started. They're going to develop this entire area. This shipyard won't be here in about 4 to 5 years. This entire area will look different. It's going to be a cluster of just bars and newer residential buildings and hotels that's going to surround this entire area right here. So this is going to be an entire waterfront area. If you come here in 4 or 5 years, it's going to look totally different. Now, the next part of town that we're headed to, Ybor City, is given its name after a Spanish immigrant. His name was Vicente Martinez Ybor. He's responsible for bringing cigar manufacturing here to Tampa. In the early 1900s, we were producing more cigars than anybody else in the world, even more than in Cuba. We were making over 500 million cigars per year. So we're considered the cigar capital of the world. Or many people call us Cigar City, is what they call us, right? So of course, that was the Great Depression, and also the trade embargo. Those two incidents nearly destroyed the cigar industry here in Tampa. But for a good portion of 40 years, this place was a ghost town. Ybor City, it was nothing. It was a ghost town. 1990 is when it began to recover into what it is today. And we'll see once we get there, right? You've been there already though. But it's still led by the cigar industry. That's still the #1 business. But they had to bring along many other businesses to help boost that economy. Even this old warehouse right here. This used to be one of the storage warehouses for the cigar industry. It's now been converted into Tampa pickleball crew. And pickleball is going to be really, really big in the U.S. It's a sport that's exploding. Is it big in Britain as well? Pickleball?
Not really. No.
Not really?
No.
Okay. Ybor City is going to be characterized by these really small homes. They refer to them as casitas. And we can see some coming up right here on the right side. And they were built specifically for the hand rollers that lived in this neighborhood. Now the neighborhood is called Ybor City, but it's still a part of Tampa. But the hand rollers had really easy access to these really large cigar factories, and they also, these homes were small and affordable. Check out these two right here to the left, Dave. These are some really crazy small homes here. 1500 and 1502. Now these homes nowadays, they're gonna range anywhere from 400,000 all the way from 200,000 to $400,000 for those small homes. Businesses booming in this part of town right here. One of my business partners right there with my cigar tour. Yeah.
Okay.
He runs a few cigar lounges here.
All right. Okay.
And I'm actually getting ready to show you some of the factories. Actually, the first two factories ever built here in Ybor City. Here in Tampa, actually. That's the main strip. I'm gonna let you out over here soon, but I want to show you some very interesting stuff first. This is a nice spot too. The Spooky Easy Lounge. It's like a horror lounge. If you walk in there, many things is like geared toward the horror industry, but it's really nice, really unique. So when Mr. Ybor came here and established the cigar industry, you had many other immigrants. They followed suit. You had Cuban immigrants, Italian immigrants, Romanian immigrants, even Chinese immigrants came over to be a part of the cigar world. They started to form these social clubs. Some of them still exist. Look all the way to the right across the streets, that white and yellow brick building. That's the Cuban Club. That's going to be the most popular club here in Ybor. And also, perhaps the most active club as well. Now keep looking right. This large red brick building on the corner, this used to be the Cherokee Club. But now let me show you the most important building in all of Ybor. It lies right here to the right of us. Check out the historical marker. It reads the founding of the cigar industry in Tampa. Well, this was Mr. Ybor's personal cigar factory right here. This was one of two of the very first factories built in Tampa right here. This happened to be Mr. Ybor's personal factory. Look what it is today. Church of Scientology took over in 2013. They do a really great job on the upkeep of it though. Now the headquarters for the Church of Scientology is over in Clearwater. That's one of the major cities right across the water. Also, I'm going to show you an interesting feature of this factory. Keep looking. You see this elongated shape? So they all had these elongated shapes. Most of the windows are going to be on the east and west sides due to the shape, right? And that's due to the sunlight. Sunlight was very bad for cigar manufacturing, right? So with the windows being on the east and west sides, at peak hours of the day when the sun is the brightest, the sun kind of beams only on the top of the buildings. So the sides where most of the windows are, they don't take on as much direct sunlight. You will notice that all of these older factories have that shape. We're going to see more examples of that before we leave Ybor. Now we take a look to the left. This is the Hyatt Hotel. It's a hotel now, perhaps the most popular hotel here in Ybor. But we're going to turn and we're going to see that same elongated shape. So you can guess what it used to be, right? Used to be a cigar factory.
Yep.
So this one and Mr. Ybor's factory, they were the very first two factories built in Tampa. And this one is actually considered the very first one because Ignacio Haya, he actually sold the first cigar. He actually sold the cigar before Ybor could. So this one is recognized as the first. Here's the marker right here. Tampa's first cigar factory. Got the Great Ritz Theater right here to the right. Still open, still very active as well. Now my first business partner within my cigar tour is going to be this place called La Ferona coming up on the right side where the cool cars in front of. Now you can also see where they do the hand rolling right here in the front window. That's one of the hand rolling stations. If you want to see that up close and personal, you can come inside here and check that out as well. They also make some really great Cuban coffee. Now the guy that I just blew the horn at, he owns this place right here, King Corona Cigar Lounge. And here's another spot to the left. This was the Centro Espanol Club, or the Spanish Club. This was the first social club of Ybor. And this area is Centro Ybor. Here's a statue of Ybor coming up too. You see right here with the head and umbrella? That's the man himself, Mr. Ybor. I'm going to grab a park right here and I'm going to let you hop out and explore just a little bit.
Well, I've just got off the bus, walking up the high main street in Ybor. So there we are, on the hand-rolled cigar shop. Smell the cigars. Good. So there we are, the statue of the man himself, Chente Martinez Ybor, pioneer of the cigar industry in Florida, founder of Ybor City. are there. Okay, well I did have a walk up here the other day, so I don't want to spend too much time here now and get back to the bus and get on with the tour.
The Italian Club to the right. If you're looking for the best Cuban sandwich, right here is going to be your spot right here to the right. It's called Carmine's. So Ybor City is known for the 4 C's. You got cigars, Cuban sandwiches, Cuban coffee, and the 4th C are going to be the chickens of Ybor. We're going to go by Chicken Park, and I'm betting we're going to see some chickens. It's directly across over to the right. We're going to make our way around it. It's called Centennial Park. And let's see what's going on here. Okay. The park is put here to honor Mr. Vicente Ybor and the first immigrants that arrived here in the late 1800s. But as we get closer, we're going to realize who the true superstars of this park really are. Let's make our way around it. Pretty empty right now, but I'm sure we're going to see a few of them over here. Oh, got a few of them right here. The chickens of Ybor. This is their stronghold, this park right here. Now, many times you can come right here, there's 100 chickens right here in this area, right? But this is their stronghold. They are also protected by the city of Tampa. Here's the really famous immigrant statue. Now, the funny thing is that I've seen some of these chickens have 10-minute long fights in the middle of the streets. And traffic has to wait until the fight ends before it can advance forward. The immigrants, they brought these chickens over here with them for one of 4 reasons. The first reason is that if you own the chickens, you can eat them. The second reason is for status. If you own chickens, you were known to be a person of great status. And also the third reason is a really, really popular source of gambling called cockfighting. By the way, here comes our streetcar as well once more. And this is actually the last stop right here to the left, or the first stop, just depends on how you look at it. Travels from right here all the way to downtown Tampa. Now, the 4th reason, and the funniest reason that the immigrants brought these chickens over here with them is because for many immigrants, these chickens were natural alarm clocks. Every morning, the roosters, which are the males, they're going to be crowing, and they're going to wake everyone up. Now, coming up on the right side, we're going to see the very, very, very famous Viva Ybor mural. All the major players of Ybor are going to be on this mural. There's Ybor in the top right corner, the pirate in the bottom right. Even the chicken is on there as well, and the women's fascist movement. also driving upon the most popular restaurant here in Tampa, which is the Columbia restaurant. It's the largest Spanish restaurant in the world. This is going to be it right here to the right. But we're going to turn right, and you'll be able to see it out the left window. But this is the largest Spanish restaurant in the world and the oldest restaurant in the entire state of Florida. Now, this building can seat 1,700 people at one time. Absolutely huge. Now, they have 4 other restaurants that's part of their family. If we look to the left, you'll see Casa Santo Stefano. That's another restaurant. It belongs to the Columbia. It's their Italian restaurant. Here's one of the really historic cigar factories to the left as well. Built in the late 1800s, this building is now the headquarters for Arturo Fuente cigars. They're one of the most popular cigar brands in the world. Here's another one to the left as well. You can see it as we're turning. That's the warehouse of Arturo Fuente. Now, the owners of that company, they actually live right here in Tampa. You got Carlito Fuente and his sister, Cynthia Fuente. Here's another historic cigar factory. This used to be the Baring Cigar Building, or the Corral and Wadowska is what many people called it. This has been here since the early 1900s. It's a mixed-use office building now. And you see the same elongated shape facing the same direction as the first 2 that I showed you. Now, do you remember that old warehouse that we seen as we entered Ybor? The pickleball warehouse.
Yeah.
We're going to see it once more as we're exiting.
Okay.
But we're going to see it from a vantage point. You're going to be able to see the largest original outdoor art piece in the state of Florida. It's going to be on the face of it. The American Journey, the largest original outdoor mural in the state of Florida. It depicts life for the immigrants when they first arrived here in the U.S. and in Ybor City. Here's that phrase coming up as well once more. Go Bolts. Well, on the surface, they're referring to Tampa Bay Lightning, our professional hockey team. But the reason why that phrase is everywhere around Tampa is because we're considered the lightning capital of the U.S. Right. There's going to be lightning here. You're going to see lightning every day in the summertime. Every single day. It's going to rain every single day. But there's a but. There's some good that comes out of it. It rains for only about 15 to 30 minutes and it's back to clear skies. So this phenomenon happens almost every day in the summertime here. It's a true rainy season.
Yeah, I've been quite fortunate so far. I haven't had any so far, but they reckon by the middle of the week it's going to come back again.
Well, it'll start to come. It may be coming around mid to late June. So any couple weeks now, that rainy season is going to start. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And also, there's a really unique fact about Tampa that I'm going to share with you. Tampa is actually a misspelling. The M should, in fact, be an N. So this place should be called Tampa. Or the way the first Indian tribes pronounced it was Tampa. So the first Indian tribe that arrived here, they actually named this place Tampa, which meant little sticks of fire. They were referring to all of the lightning. Somewhere along the translation of the maps, there was a misspelling that actually stuck around to this very day. So welcome to the Tampa minibus tours. Now, so the next site that we're going to see, this is going to be a really historical site, and it's a Tampa minibus exclusive. I'm the only mobile tour that goes by this place. Rich in history, and it's a very current hot topic. I'm actually going to give the music a pause for just a bit. Here's Tampa Union Station right over here on the right side. Now let me show you the Darth Vader villains. You see this blue and white parking sign, 717?
Yep.
Well, they own about 90% of the parking lots here in Tampa. They're everywhere. They put themselves in a PR nightmare. Let me tell you why. And if you want to get out and record this building, you can. This is going to be a really historic building right here to the left. This is something special. This is the Jackson House. It was built in 1901 by Sarah and Moses Jackson. Can you get a good view of it?
Yep.
Is that good?
Yep.
You got
Yeah.
it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
It was built in 1901. Now, it started off as only 6 bedrooms, but it became so popular and so important to Tampa, they actually added a second floor, which upgraded this building to 24 bedrooms. Basically, this building was a boarding home for African Americans during the segregation era. It's most noted for all of the really famous musicians that boarded here at one point or another. Now, I'll give you the rundown of this list. James Brown, Cab Calloway, Nat King Cole, Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and also Ray Charles was always in this building right when they came here. This was like their hotel. So now we see the condition it's in really, really bad shape, right? It was actually set to be demolished in 2013, but many people were upset about that. So they formed a foundation, a Jackson House Foundation. By the year 2022, which was not that long ago, that foundation had raised a total of $3 million. So you might ask, why isn't it restored? Well, that's where 717 come in at. They happen to own the parking lot surrounding the building. The Jackson House needed only 10 feet of temporary easement, just enough room to be restored. 717 blocked it. They wouldn't give them the easement. So people were really upset about this, right? It got really messy. The mayor got involved. She reached out to 717 in an attempt to do a land swap. They agreed, but for whatever reason, the restoration continued to stall. Well, that's up until about 5 months ago. There was this huge meeting around town with the city council, 717, and the Jackson House Foundation. Finally, they've given them the easement that they need to be restored. They're going to convert this place into a museum really soon. There was a huge press conference out here February 28th, right in front. So they've decided to convert it. They're just trying to figure out how they're going to go about it. They're trying to see whether they can convert this over while it's still standing, which I doubt, or whether they're going to have to tear it down and rebuild it using some of the same materials. I think that's what's going to have to happen.
Right.
And also, as of this very day, the foundation has raised $4.3 million. So you should see construction beginning really soon on this building. This is what it looked like in a better condition right there. I'm not sure what year that was in. I've been trying to figure it out, but it's going to give you a glimpse, right, of what it used to look like.
Yep.
But it will be a museum really soon, so that's great news.
Yeah.
Really great news if they're going to preserve that history.
Definitely.
There's some major history inside of that building. Here's the Tampa firefighters headquarters. And that red brick building right across, that's actually the firefighters museum. Now get ready, because we're going to be greeted right away by the musician's mural. This is perhaps one of the most popular murals in all of Tampa. Right here on the right side. I gonna hang a left turn really slowly so that you can get a really nice picture of it. That's Freddie Mercury, Elton John, and Jimi Hendrix.
Yep.
So if you come right over here on the left side, Dave, you will see the largest Go Buccaneers banner. Uh-oh, that's okay. It does that. In the city of Tampa, if you look up right now to the left on the corner of this building, hanging off the side of it. So the Buccaneers is our professional football team. Right at the top of it, you can see it up there. This building on the left is going to be the Timberlake Federal Building. And to the left in the distance, just behind the trees, you can see the Tampa Theater. If you're looking for classic films, that's the place you're going to want to go to. They show classic films in a really nice spot. It's been open since 1926. So it's really deep history. Now, right here on the right side, this building on the corner used to be Woolworth, a really popular department store. And this is one of the really historical markers that reads the Woolworth sit-ins. So this is one of the locations where the counter sit-ins took place, where African Americans were fighting for the ability just to be able to sit at the counters. It took place right here. So this place used to be Woolworth. It's empty now. These are actually 3 department stores that's empty from back in the day. Woolworth was first. Right here in the middle was one called S.H. Crest. What's the name of this department store? You can see that it's still empty. And actually this building is called the Crest Building is what they call it. This one was Newberry, J.J. Newberry. Now there's been 3 attempts to renovate this entire block. They've all failed through, so it remains empty. I haven't heard any details on whether they're going to tear it down or try to rebuild it up. Now we're gonna get ready to pull up on 717's parking lot, and we're not gonna pay them a dime. They're not getting any money from us. We're gonna have ourselves a really quick photo shoot. I give you the famous Tampa postcard mural. I'm actually gonna back so that we can get a great view of it. So within the letter T, that's the water tower that's further north, just off the Interstate 275. Now, we're not going to see it on tour, but it's right off the side of the expressway. The letter A is going to be the Jose Gasparilla pirate ship. Under normal circumstances, we would see that on tour, but they're taking the decorations off of it right now. The letter M, you recognize that building within the M? That's the Plant Museum. Yep. The letter P is going to be the streetcar in Ybor. And the letter A is going to be how life was living along the Hillsborough River. Now, even if we look down below the word Tampa, that bridge, that's the Platte Street Bridge that we crossed over. So basically, this mural is the story of Tampa. Been right here since 2012, and I'm just amazed at the great condition that it stays in. But yes, this is where everyone comes to take a picture. You want to hop out and get a picture? Here's the historical marker for Billy Graham, a really, really popular evangelist. He's actually known for being in the Carolinas, but his career actually began right here in Tampa. This expressway is Interstate 275. This is going to be our most populated interstate. You do not want to get stuck in traffic on there. It's going to be a bad day for you. And now we're getting ready to enter into Tampa Heights, which actually was the first suburb of Tampa. It's now part of city limits now. I call it Ybor City. There's going to be a lot of nice murals and art pieces. Here's some over here to the left. You're going to recognize this one coming up on the right side. The Wizard of Oz.
Yep.
Yellow Brick Road. So here's a historical theater on the right. The Rialto is now like an event space right here with the blue doors. That's going to be really nice. Here's another really popular brewery, the Hidden Springs. And if we look to the left on the wall, we can see what I call the odd couple, the alligator and the bird. It's actually a phenomenon of nature where the alligators or the crocodiles, they sit with their mouths open and the birds actually clean their teeth off. The birds are getting a snack. The alligators and crocs are getting a dental job. However, it doesn't always end good for the birds.
No.
Now remember that restaurant, the really popular restaurant, the Columbia?
Yeah.
Well, the latest restaurant that's under their family of restaurants is going to be right over here across the streets. It's called Eulalie. It's a really popular seafood restaurant. And this is the back of it actually, but this is really popular. They have an extensive menu as well. Really great food. And you also have direct access to the Riverwalk via the front of this building, but it's going to be right next door to the last stop on tour that we're going to stop at. The final stop on tour is going to be this large red brick building right here. It's called Armature Works. It's a modern food hall, so there's a lot of really nice restaurants inside. However, it used to be the storage and repair facility for the streetcars. That's what it used to be. And actually, when you go inside, you're going to see many things still geared toward that, right? A lot of the designs and the decor is still of that of when it was a streetcar factory. To the left, you're going to see the Riverwalk over here. This is the northernmost end of it. And the great thing about this building, Armature Works, right here in front of it, it has direct access to the Riverwalk as well. Pull up. All right.
So this is the inside of the old streetcar workshop. Been converted into an eating place. Riverwalk.
We're going to be driving right alongside the Riverwalk, which is right over here to the right. And speaking of the Riverwalk, I told you I had some really great news about the Riverwalk. Well, we were recently approved for a parallel Riverwalk over there on the west bank. You can actually look across. You see where the rocks are over there?
Yep.
That's construction for the West Bank Riverwalk. So they've begun already. Guess when it'll be done?
2 years.
2 years. If you come back in 2 years, there'll be another Riverwalk right across.
Right.
On the West Bank. Here's another pretty sneaky but great art piece intertwined right within the concrete pillars under the expressway. It's called Andante. Also, a lot of these different art pieces and sculptures that we've seen throughout the tour, you can find them on tampa.gov. We're going to see a few more really great sculptures before the tour is over with as well. These two red beams right here to the right, it's called America, America. And the artist is very upset because the comedians call it the "You Are Here" symbol, that little red symbol on the map that kind of states where you are.
Yeah. Right.
And actually, here comes another great sculpture as well. Right across to the right, I call it the Green Brain. Well, the name of it is the form of wonder. So whatever you wonder it to be, that's what it is. It looks like a green brain to me.
Yeah.
And the Stride Center, that building where we kind of started at, the Performing Arts Facility, this is the back where they're adding on more theaters right here. here's going to be a really great hidden statue to the left, right in front of the Barrymore Hotel. You will see John Lennon right there with the scarf on. That's him kind of hidden away. Go ahead right now and thank you for coming out, Dave, at your own personal private tour.
Thank you very much as well. Very good.
Show you around.
Very
and
interesting.
You know, absolutely. Give you the complete overhead of Tampa. Also, we've been trending really high in a lot of the different search arenas, right? And it's directly due to reviews. I know you're going to be busy while you're here, but if you get some free time, whenever you get some free time, if you could leave a review, it does wonders for us.
Definitely will do.
And also, just a few mentions I'm going to mention to you while you're here. If you get a chance to go over to St. Petersburg.
I'm going there tomorrow.
You going tomorrow?
For the baseball.
So when you're there, Dave, check out the St. Pete Pier.
Right, okay.
Don't forget. Yeah. It's amazing. Okay. It's a really nice pier.
Will do.
The St. Pete Pier. You also want to hit the downtown area around Central Avenue.
Right.
So the Central Avenue area and the St. Pete Pier is amazing. That pier, you're going to get some of the best views in Tampa. You can actually see Tampa. If you look closely, you can find it across the water. You'll be able to see Tampa from that pier. But the pier has like a 360-degree view. Really nice.
Excellent. Look forward to that.
And also, there's a really nice restaurant here in Tampa. It's called Burns Steakhouse. If you get a chance to check that out, you want to do that as well.
Will do.
Steakhouse on the first floor. The second floor is the dessert room, which is really great. Many people bypass the steakhouse. They go straight to the dessert room.
Right.
Okay. But in the basement, they have the largest collection of wine bottles of any private restaurant in the world. So that's a really nice experience as well. And also, if you have any more questions while you're here, feel free to email me. I get right back to you really promptly.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes, I've just been dropped off, and that was an excellent tour. To say, I said earlier, it was meant to be 2 more people, but they cancelled this morning. So I had basically a personalised tour. So very good. Hope you enjoyed that, and if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again. Bye bye.